So this video is a continuation of another video where I kind of talked about some of the negative parts of being in America and being an American very briefly, and here I want to focus on the positive things, because of course every country has its pros and cons, and I'm learning to heal that and try to be proud to be an American and try to learn what it means to be here. So one thing I can say right off the bat definitely is that my standard of living is probably very good, and that I am very privileged in that sense. I have a house and I'm able to work and feed myself and pay my bills, and it's not too difficult. Then again, I am educated and I do present as a white man, so that definitely gives me some advantages. There's a lot of access to food and water here. We have an abundance of resources here. Obviously, not everyone has equal opportunity, but for the most part, I think that it's pretty good, and our government tries to help people that are disabled or don't have access to a lot of these resources. And the best thing, I think, is as much as there's so much ignorance, I have to be aware of the fact that I'm a trans man, and I lived in the capital of this country, and I was given access to hormones and to surgery, and everyone treated me very well. Obviously, there are parts of the world where I wouldn't feel comfortable disclosing who I am, and even parts of this country. But I know that I have the freedom to be trans, that I have access to doing that I can do it openly and publicly. The LGBT movement in this country has been very strong, and I feel good to be who I am here. I feel good to be open. I feel there is a lot of freedom of expression. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I am able to freely speak, and I know that there are a lot of places where that is not the case. So I do have to remember that that is definitely a very positive thing. The nature here is very beautiful. There is a lot of beauty. There's a lot of really old trees. There's beaches. There's deserts. There's every landscape that you could think of, because we are such a huge country. I think that the technology here is very good. It is very modernized here, and most people are able to connect to everyone all over the world through the internet or have access to technology in some sort of way like that. I think that we can be very innovative. This one's definitely harder than the negative video for me. I think people generally are pretty friendly and open. A lot of Americans just want to have fun and have a good time. It's difficult for me to make this video. It really is. I'm almost out of things that I feel super good about. It's hard for me. I really don't identify with a lot of aspects of this culture. I love the freedom of expression, and I love that I have access to so much opportunity and resources, that I have my own business and I can do whatever I want with my life. I feel very free to be creative. I feel like there's a lot of artistic people here who are able to actually make a living off of that. There's a lot of business energy that is positive. Yes, we've got a lot of huge corporations and some really shady stuff going on, but there are also a lot of local business owners and people that make soaps or make funny videos online or make clothing. It's very entrepreneurial here, where it's encouraged to rely on yourself. It's encouraged to be an individual. It's encouraged to be different and to stand out and to really hone in on your skills and find out what makes you special, things like that. So that is definitely very good. There are places that have incredible educational opportunities. There are a lot of international programs. There is a lot of really good food here and a lot of really good agriculture in terms of organic stuff. There's a really big vegan and vegetarian movement. There are a lot of different religions. There are a lot of people from all over the world. More so if you go to the city, you'll find it's very international. The pockets of America that seem to be a bit more socially unaware and ignorant and not aware of other cultures and other people tend to be those that are located in areas that, like middle America and the southern parts of America, don't really have access to things as much, I would think. The coasts like California and the East Coast and all of the major cities are definitely going to have a very different vibe. Um, we have really good public transportation, not everywhere, but in a lot of places. Um, Gosh, I don't know. It's difficult. I really don't identify with being an American. I would love to be somewhere else. I would love to maybe be in Japan. I identify with that culture a lot more in terms of trying to be polite and conscientious of the decisions that you make and the people around you. People are pretty outgoing here. People are very extroverted here. They can be very direct. It's easy to start a conversation with someone. Most people, like I said, can be really friendly. Friendship is very important here. Being social is very important here. It's important to have a lot of connections. I don't know, guys. Help me out here. If you live here, what are some positive things? I feel like our country is struggling very much right now. Um, there's so many different paths. It's like we're split into two. And I know Abraham Lincoln said that a house divided against itself cannot stand. And I think that's very true. I think that a lot of our leaders perhaps did have a good amount of wisdom, but I think a lot of them steered us in the wrong direction, whether they meant to or not. Um, I think that, yes, it's amazing that our country has developed so much in terms of industrial revolution type energy and westernization. There are a lot of positive things to that, but it has also really destroyed our environment very much, and it has changed who we are as a people in some ways that are hard to come back from. Um, there are very generous people here. Um, it's just hard because we're all trying to survive, but I think for the most part, someone will help you out if they can. There are a lot of people that give to charity here. There are a lot of people that do volunteer work here. There are a lot of people that care. It doesn't always seem like that, but there's this undercurrent of people that really want to see something good happen, that they care so much that they're trying to do better, that they recognize that they're white and that we've built this country on really horrible foundations, but we're trying to do the best that we can about it because we weren't even born when a lot of this shit happened. Especially my generation, we're all thrown into the mix of this, and we're just really trying to do our best to be kind, decent people and survive in this economy. um, it's rough. It's very hard right now. But there are a lot of optimistic people here. What can I say? it's a lot. Our country's been definitely slowly declining, I think, ever since Bush. Ever since we started getting mixed up in shit we had no business doing. Ever since we started killing a lot of people and meddling in things that have nothing to do with us and feeling so entitled. I think it really gave us a bad vibe, and I think that a lot of other countries, well, a lot of people glamorize Hollywood and New York City and California and this tan-skinned LA thing. That's only a very small portion, and it's a very superficial portion, and it's cool to think America's cool, but I think a lot of people are really turned off by us right now, and I totally understand that. It's very upsetting. He's not my president. I didn't vote for him. I don't want him here. I don't think he's a representation of me or what I believe in. But at the same time, I think that he's a reflection of the fact that we are so divided right now. And that we value money more than other things that we should. So that's hard pill to swallow. But This didn't end up being as positive as I hoped that it could be, but if you watched both of these, thank you so much, and I would love to hear your guys' experiences.